Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yeah, We Read It. My name's Laura. I'm one of your hosts.
My name's Meggie, and I'm your other host.
And we're in the room together.
This is a very exciting time.
Very exciting time.
I don't remember, what was the last episode that we recorded together?
Couldn't tell you. You left so long ago, bud.
I know. It might have been the John Green series. It was the John Green series. Because we did Will
Grayson.
I was thinking Horton Hears It.
Yeah. Well, we did
that when I was in Georgia. That was the first book that we did. So it had to have been
I don't remember.
John Green.
It was so long ago.
So long ago.
But this is the finale of our 17th season. Hooray!
Hooray! And we are talking about the prequel to the Remnant Chronicles. Morrighan?
It's called Morrighan, yeah.
I'm really killing it today.
And we're also going to do our final thoughts on the series as a whole. But let's dive into this book Morrighan first, because this book is so short. It's literally 220 pages plus borders on all of the pages plus pictures.
Yes, it is size 16 font and maybe 7 words on each page. So we really blew through it.
I literally read it in a day. But the thing that also was intriguing, that I was because Princess Leia, she's the princess of Morrighan, so we're gonna get some really cool origin stories of this kingdom and this country, and that's not what this book is. This book made me more confused about the origin of the kingdom of Morrighan.
So we follow obviously Morrighan, namesake of a kingdom, and she's with her tribe.
We literally only follow her from ages 2 through 18.
Yeah, she's kind of hanging out, and she plays, really missed connections on Craigslist with this guy, Jafir.
Yeah. So, this world is very, mixed into, there's scavengers, which are kind of the barbarians, and then there's almost, gatherers that are very, peaceful people. So, Morrigan's...
And you're gonna think that Venda, who is Morrigan's sister, cousin... Aunt got taken, and you were they're gonna be taken by the scavengers.
Yeah.
I don't think that she was.
Well, she was taken by the scavengers.
Oh, she was. Okay.
Maggie, did you read the book?
I did read the book. This is the first book I told Laura I'm not taking notes on. I just want to freeball it.
Yeah, and Maggie, you're doing so great so far with both the title and the plot.
Thank you so much. Guys, this is really a testament to how bad my memory is. I finished it 2 days ago.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so basically, the lowdown we get is Morrighan, part of these gatherers, runs into this little scavenger, harsh boy, who doesn't decide to kill her one day when he's, scavenging.
Thank God.
And then they kind of keep meeting over the years. And then they basically, TLDR, they end up, secretly falling in love because he goes out and hunts, and then she goes out and, reads these ancient books that she stumbled across with her gift. Her gift literally led her to, here's a stack of ancient books.
Yeah, fellas, it's pretty hard not to fall in love with someone who teaches you how to read.
She doesn't teach him how to read. She just reads to him.
Oh, I thought eventually he picked up reading.
She did offer to keep reading to him, and he did storm out at one point, but then he came back the next day.
Laura taught me how to read, and I'd say we're in love.
I am telling Mickey the plot of the book that they read.
That's exactly
it's kind of when you read Shakespeare and you're this is what I thought happened, and then somebody goes, actually, this is what happened.
Exactly. That's us right now. We're really embodying the book.
Oh my gosh.
So they fall in love in the cave.
Yeah, they fall in love in the cave. They're they gotta be 16 at this point. They're young.
Yeah.
They're very, very young. But basically, Jafir, this, his tough shell is crumbling. Even though he knows if the scavengers knew about Morrighan, they would immediately be we gotta raid her people. We gotta get the stuff from them. And basically, Jafir has this really shitty brother, Stefan, who follows him one day and is oh, we've all heard about Morrighan because she has the gift. I'm going to go tell everybody that I know where Morrighan is.
It's not helping either because there's a little bit of a rift, it doesn't really matter, between Jafir and Morrighan because he had to raid a northern village with his brothers were forcing his hand.
Very worlds apart, these two, because Jafir's obviously all his life is stealing from people, and all Morrigan's life is starving and gathering plants and things.
And so Stefan goes back to his little county and basically tells people, and the reason that Morrighan is really important to this company is Herrick, this guy who seems to be in charge of everyone, is like obsessed with Morrighan for some reason.
Well, he's her dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting to the point because again, this book is
That's
so
true.
short. Like
I was gonna tease it
there's
out.
no build up in this book. It's suddenly like Herrick is suddenly joining this other clan. They're merging scavenger clans, and then he's like, Morrighan has the gift and she's my daughter, and we're like, who was her mom?
Exactly. It's like, very K-pop Demon Hunters, where it's like dad
nothing
is
like K-pop Demon Hunters,
mom
because
is
that's
hunter.
so good. There's no songs in this. How
So
dare
true.
you? I just watched K-pop Demon Hunters the other day.
Oh, we're gonna yap about
and
it.
We're gonna yap about it after this.
So good.
It's nothing like K-pop Demon Hunters. I just have to say that because K-pop Demon Hunters is so good, and this book's just
true.
fine.
You know what? We're turning the podcast into, because I would love in-depth K-pop.
We got it. But anyway, so Stefan leads everybody to find the fire to Morrigan's camp. They get raided, and Morrigan's like, oh, how dare I trust Jafir this whole time? And Jafir really didn't want this to happen. He was really like trying to protect her.
Yeah.
But then they leave. They don't take Morrighan. They just take a bunch of stuff. And then when Jafir wakes up the next morning, they're like, oh, good morning, Jafir. Herrick went to go take Morrighan, and then we're actually parting ways with Herrick's little clan, and we're going to go find a new place to live. Because that's also the lifestyle that they have. So...
Yeah, Jafir's not about it. So
no.
he's going to race on, he's going to gallop on up to Herrick, and, I don't know how he maneuvers getting Morrighan out of this, because I remember reading it and being like, there's no way that this guy would part with his daughter that easily. What happens?
So here's what happens, Meggie, is when Jafir wakes up and they go, oh, here's what's happening, Jafir. He goes, this bag of grain we stole from them yesterday, I need to take this with me. And so he carries a bag of grain with him, stops Herrick, and is like, I'll trade you the grain for your daughter.
And somehow it works.
It works. Herrick's like, she has the gift. And he's like, it's a bag of grain. And she's like, sold.
So if she has the gift too, why would you part with your daughter?
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. This happens so fast. This book almost felt just kind of like an outline that happened. Like, there's not a lot of color in between the pages.
Yeah.
Other than the actual pictures in between the pages.
Exactly.
But those are black and white, so it doesn't mean the same thing. But it's such a strange, like,
yeah.
Oh, she's gonna be, like, stolen, and then she's traded for a bag of grain, and then it's like, oh.
There is one illustration in the book of her straddling Jafir, and I texted Laura because I was reading it
and Meggie got embarrassed.
I was reading it in the airport, and like 2 minutes later, the woman next to me got up, and I was like, it could be nothing. It might be a coincidence.
Yeah, this
but
poor woman at the airport was like, this person's reading porn next to me at gate C28.
Oh my god. So, bada bing, bada boom. Jafir, whatever, gets Morrighan
via bag of grain. She's not happy to see him, though.
She's not. So he
no. She's
brings her back to base, because I mean, like, I guess where else are you gonna take her?
I mean,
why didn't he just
no, Meggie. He doesn't even get her back to the base. He's trying to take her back to her like family, and then his clan that's leaving to go find a new place to live, they're like, Jafir, what the hell are you doing? Why'd you take that bag of grain? Who the hell is this chick?
So now, she's got to fight for her life.
It's not much of a fight for her life. Fergus, the guy who's in charge of Jafir and the whole clan, is like, oh, you have the gift, you're gonna guide us, and you're gonna marry my son Stefan. And she goes, if I do a good job, I marry Jafir. And he goes, yeah, whatever.
So she's like leading them through the north. They go through this hard winter.
And she's a slut for going north. There's like twice in this little series that she's like, I've had visions of death more north. We have to go norther.
Yeah. They're going to winter. They get to these woods, and they go into the woods. There's like a watchtower of women with arrows.
Yeah, they find a fortress, and Fergus is like, I want that fortress. And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work out.
Oh, they also meet a ghost outside of it, which is kind of a glazed over plot point. that there's now ghosts in this world.
There's ghosts in there. They're just learning.
Just a single ghost.
There's one ghost. They're learning about the concept of tigers. It's all new to them.
Everything's weird. And like this fortress scene is weird. Like she meets a woman who's in charge of the fortress and she's like, you can stay. And Morgan's like, no, it's not my destiny or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then they keep going for months and months and months.
They keep going.
Babies die.
Babies die. Someone gets swept up in a tide. At some point, maybe someone gets like scarlet fever. There's just everyone's.
It's very Oregon Trail of them.
Flying left and right. So they get to eventually a place where Fergus is like, I want to settle here. I'm tired enough of this. I don't like it anymore.
And then he goes, but Morgan, I hate it here. So this is all your fault. And then he's like, and now you have to marry Stefan because I'm mad at you. And then Morgan just murders Stefan in cold blood.
Yeah, she's like, no. And then she does that.
And then Jafir, next paragraph, murders Fergus in cold blood.
Yeah, that solves their problem.
And literally everyone in the clan is like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then they're like, we're not settling here. We're going to move a little bit farther. And they find what comes to be Morrighan.
Yeah.
And there's a bridge nearby, too.
Yeah. Then they get there when she's 18. So we're like, how old was she when you left? So.
I do love the last illustration. Just is kind of giving me like San Francisco.
Yeah. So we
They
don't
found
really.
San Francisco.
Yeah, we don't really get like more on like. Well, how do they name the country after her? How does she become the queen? Do her and Jafir get married and have children? So we kind of missed that, but that's this little prequel that we read.
And that's the prequel.
And I will say, this book did have a lot of potential, but I feel like she was trying to do too much in the 200 pages.
Yeah, I felt like this book was completely unnecessary. So
I would unfortunately agree with that. And here's the thing, there's a world where I could have really gotten behind it, but it's not this one.
And that is our little take on the prequel. We are merging this since it was such a short book with our take
final thoughts
on the series
whoa.
As a whole. And what are your thoughts on that?
I liked the series, Meggie. As a whole, the third book was hard. And it sucked because I think the third book had the strongest start out of all of them. And then it kind of roller coastered throughout where I was like, this didn't need to be 700 pages, did it? But I just feel like Mary E. Pearson was definitely trying to make it a big finale, which I can't con her for because it was still like better than some of the finales we've read.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think first and second book were eating them up. I was eating them up. I was guzzling them.
Yeah, the second book was, I think, my favorite.
Yeah, and I like the second book.
It took me the longest to read for some reason, but I just had kind of the time of my life. Like, I feel like they really stretched out Venda, and also sometimes I would feel like the text...
That's because you're also horny for the Commissar.
That is true! I mean, him calling Leah my pet, come on.
Yeah.
Need that for me.
Yeah.
I need a toxic situationship so bad.
And
email Meggie and Laura.
I was just gonna do that. I was just gonna be like, and if you want to call Meggie or they're your little pet, just email us.
I don't want healthy relationships anymore. What have they done for me? So toxic situationships only. Commissar, if you're out there, if you're listening to this podcast, let it rip.
He's dead, Meggie.
Spoiler, I don't know if you guys have
Maggie,
listened
I'm so
to the
sorry.
last
He
episode.
died in the war.
Well, fuck. I did like the second one a lot. I would say sometimes I felt like it was, you know, when world building becomes so much that you're almost like you're repeating the same point.
Yeah,
I feel like you're using
where it's
more
getting a little
words
redundant.
to say the
I
same
kind of felt
thing.
like we kind of like kept describing what the sanctum was over and over again in the second book.
Yes.
And
And also that we use so many of the like hidden passages for it not to really come to fruition.
Yeah.
It felt like.
Yeah, it kind of felt like the hidden passages would have meant more by the end of it all, and it just kind of was like they didn't barely even use them to escape. So
Yeah, truly.
But I think the one pillar of this book that I really wish developed more was an actual love triangle.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, because it's like I think we both were feeling it that first book. We're like, there's the assassin, there's the prince, and ooh, they're both here. And then it was like very quickly like she chose Rafe.
Yeah. And the first book truly was so goddamn solid. That was like one of the tightest books.
It's one of the best first books in a series I've ever read.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready for the second one. Like this is
hubba, yeah.
she falls in love with Katie.
I really like thought we were building up to that.
And then the third book is like when, you know, it really wars because I mean, outside of A Court of Thorns and Roses, where like you actually do get the second love interest
Spoilers, no, I'm kidding.
as the love interest, I feel like I want two people who are like equal parts, could be good partners for someone that. Like, I get to the third book and I'm like, fuck.
I would have loved to be
they're
kept
both
guessing
equal.
a little bit.
Yes.
But here's the thing, I also really love Rafe as a romantic interest. And I kind of hated Caden as a romantic interest. So I really wish that to get this to work, that was fixed and that it was worth
Every
that.
single time he kept treating Leah as if she was just like a right and not like a privilege, I was like, ooh, let's back up. Let's back up.
I like don't know what Caden was like thinking half the time, because I was like, it doesn't make sense, because like in the first book he's kind of like, I'm obsessed with her and I won't kill her, and it's like, but you're gonna like, and he's gonna you're gonna take her as prisoner, and he didn't like think that, and then he got there. And then he got mad that the commissar was like, oh, I'm going to marry her since you brought her to me. And he's like, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. It's like, I could have told you that, buddy.
He was just like giving only child, youngest kid syndrome. And I get to say that as having both, because I was just like, you are so goddamn spoiled in how being like, but I want her, she's mine. And then not thinking about the
you would think somebody who's had to like literally fight in tooth and nail to like survive his entire life would have a little bit more of understanding of like how like that works.
It always just felt like, you're indebted to me because I spared your life. So no head?
Yeah. So no head?
So no head?
So no head?
All the time?
Yeah, he's like, well, I didn't kill you.
I know. There was one line that he had in the second book where he was talking about how the commissar agreed that they would share her, and he was like, and I want to be serviced. That I was like, ew.
Ew.
Gross.
I mean, he is a barbarian, so.
I guess so.
But yeah, no, that was like a thing where it was like there was a potential, I think, in the series to go that route and make them both very like eligible.
Yes.
But it was clear that Rafe was always the most eligible and the hottest and like the nicest character in the book series.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Because like even Leah by the end, I always liked how flawed Leah was in the first two books.
I did too.
But then the third book, I was getting really mad at her because she was being dumb.
Oh my god, when she kept just arguing with Rafe, being like, you staying here is best for your well-being.
Yeah. No, it was just like, I never really got, I think, from the third book, like why she thought she could so easily go back into Morrighan knowing the entire kingdom thought she was a traitor. I was like, this doesn't make sense. If anything, go to Dalbrook, get married, come to Morrighan and be like, look, I fulfilled the deal. We're here to save you.
Yeah, and also I have all this power, and if you don't let me back in, Dalbrook's troops can wipe you guys off the face of the planet.
Because it kind of feels like the book ended in Stockholm Syndrome, because she was like a prisoner in Venda, and she's like, I kind of love this place. I'm going to rule it one day.
Yeah, and then she had to just make a new place in the Camlanteau.
Yeah. How do you build a new castle?
It feels like when you read a book that you were named after and you're like, damn, I mean, I have this whole book. It kind of, like, you start fantasizing your life about being like, actually, it would be kind of cool, I guess, if I lived there.
Yeah. I don't know if there's like a word or a term for like when you see yourself in like a piece of media or like pop culture, like,
and you start building your personality.
You're like, I'm so that character, or that song's so me.
Yeah.
It kind of really feels like we shaped her entire personality around being like, I'm a prophet.
I think we should call it the Jess and New Girl syndrome, because I feel like Zoe Deschanel started a little bit of twee because of New Girl.
It's I guess is it Manic Pixie Dream Girl, but it's not.
I guess so.
Yeah,
she's Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
She's like Renaissance Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yeah.
Medieval Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
She's like, I'm obsessed with wearing the bones as a belt.
Yeah.
Fashion forward.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just, it also, I think, kind of defeated, like, the third book really defeats the second book, because it's like, the second book, I truly believed Leah was doing all of this and acclimating, not because she's a nice person, but also because she knows she needs to do this to survive. But then to find out she was actually kind of cool with it is really weird.
What, with Venda?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's like, second book, again, she spends this entire time, there's so much tension between her and Rafe because they really have to communicate silently.
Yeah.
And then she's learning the language, she's acclimating herself again to get herself further. She agrees to marry the commissar to save somebody else's life.
Yeah.
And then the moment she leaves, she's like, I miss Venda. Like, what? It doesn't make sense to me that someone who is, again, maneuvering throughout this place is suddenly like, and it's a little piece of me now. It's like, no, you were in a prison.
Yeah, she can't have Stockholm Syndrome that bad.
Yeah. And so I think that was... So, personally, that's something I would have, like, I would have liked to see, like, either fleshed out differently, like, maybe if she...
Yes.
Liked Venda more in the second book or something.
I completely agree, because it seems like so much of the calling was truly just destiny. And she had this voice thing. And also the voice wasn't necessarily, I don't think, described too well for me either. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean, maybe you don't know what the Force is in Star Wars either. Well, no, it's like interconnected with nature.
Well,
I don't know. It didn't feel like there was like any real explanation for it, and it feels like the whole thing is like magic is rooting her to that place. And I feel like that's what the Morrighan prequel was supposed to be, is like, oh, there's all this rich ancestry and lore, but the like books, they had little snippets in the books that was like the word of Godrill, and things like that. And I don't think that the story was succinct enough.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I skipped over most of like the ancient texts, because I was like, I guarantee this isn't gonna make my experience any more riveting.
Well, I think that was supposed to be, you know, like their Bible, or like integral to informing how they moved throughout, but it didn't feel like that lore was fleshed out at all and was just used as a plot device. And it's like, you kind of gotta build that world too.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I thought more like the Morrighan prequel was going to be, was like kind of like fleshing out what the text had said into an actual like story, but then it wasn't. And that's cool, but again, it brings me back to like, what was the prequel trying to tell me?
Because it's like, I think I brought up Dune earlier, but truly Dune is, I think, the closest comparison in terms of written work for this one. And it makes sense that like he transcends to power, because like all these people were like waiting for this chosen one. And I thought that was going to be the same thing, but it seems like nobody knew who she was.
Yeah, it seemed like the gift was supposed to be a big deal, but nobody knew about it enough, or like what it meant.
Yeah.
And then she'd be like, you know, the Song of Venda, and everybody would be like, what's that?
And since there was no stakes, I was like, why are you indebted to these people?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like, I really don't understand like why she felt more for, I need to fix and take care of Venda, other than if she just has a like
bleeding heart liberal.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, unless she just has a weird provider complex of like, I can show them the ropes.
Yeah.
But again, that never really seemed like Leah's character.
Yeah.
Because like, here's the thing. It's like, and I get Leah changes a lot in this book, and that is, I think, a good moment, that like her arc of being like teenager who doesn't want to get married.
Yeah.
And kind of has to face her own consequences, to turn into, I'm now going to go back to the place that imprisoned me for a year and killed my brothers, because I don't think they're that bad. Again, it was just, and there was so much in this book, I just don't think I got that connection.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I will say, I think her character arc makes a lot of sense. Like, I feel like she moved from...
Her rigidness makes perfect sense, yeah.
I think that she became very confident and very bold in the end as a ruler. I just feel like there needed to be some sort of comparison between, like, I mean, she just fled, and I don't think we got to know her at all individually in the beginning. And it's like, okay, so clearly she is like a for the people person, but like, then what did she do in her time in Morrighan to like inform the fact that she is trying to basically take all these people in Venda like out of poverty? Like, I just don't think there was like an element, there was an element to her that was like missing, that I was like, I mean, truly, why is she so compassionate?
I mean, yeah, it only really boils down to like, is it Stockholm Syndrome?
Yeah.
Because I feel like she was like kind of at her lowest low, obviously, in the Kingdom of Venda. And there was a lot of people showing her compassion. So I do wonder if she was just so focused on the nice people that she was like, I love it here. I don't know.
Venda?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't know.
They made her a dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a child put its life on the lines to hide her knife for her and polish her boots, you know?
Yeah. I guess, too, I mean, she's coming into it at, like, a pretty informative age where maybe she's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, like, it doesn't make too much sense to me, but also I can see, like, being, like, this time on the road informs the kind of leader she wants to be, and not necessarily, like, she didn't want to leave Morrighan.
You know,
she fled.
Exactly. And this brings me to my next point, which I think will be in alignment with what you were saying.
Yeah.
What does Leah really want at the end of the day? We don't really get that ever. Because, like, the only thing we get early on in the book is she doesn't want to be married. But then it's like, okay, but then what do you want? do you just want to be a barmaiden for forever?
Yeah.
What's,
oh my God, that is
what
true.
What do you want?
What was her 5-year goal in Terabit?
Exactly. And then it was like, well, is her new want to be with like Rafe no matter the cost? But then that changes completely because she's just doesn't. It feels like her want changes too much and is never concrete.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess there's a point in having a character like that who doesn't have
I'm telling
a goal.
You, I really think that they should have like built up the mystical. I think it should have been like her fate and her destiny, and I think it should have been framed in that way and build up that.
You know,
like because I think that was what the goal of this was. It was like it's just like everything is like falling into place for her, and she doesn't really have a plan, but it just did not.
For sure. I get that, because also on the pillar of like prophecy and this kind of being the map to her destiny, the Song of Venda we learn in book 2 essentially ends with basically saying Giselia will sacrifice herself for the greater good.
Yeah.
And so it's like, are we supposed to believe that she changed that fate? Or was her sacrificing herself being like, I'm going to go live somewhere else and be a ruler there?
And we talked about this either on our last episode or outside of the pod, but more people on her side should have died.
That was the thing. There was a giant war. There was prisoners running rampant in the kingdom.
If Giselia is not going to be the sacrifice in the end,
yeah.
what about her entire family?
Oh my God.
Setting it up anyways.
And also, I mean, like, and then also, I gotta be honest, I'm disappointed that in the Song of Venda, the dragon is just a metaphor.
Oh my God!
I thought there was going to be a giant, like, dragon that just burns people to a crisp at the end.
Yeah.
And it was a metaphor the whole time.
For the Commissar.
It was a metaphor.
I really thought that it was going to be something different. I'm telling you, I really think that, like, the Bible verses needed to be more
or maybe there's other words you can use than dragon. There's just other words. Don't get Meggie excited.
In a fantasy world. If you're going to put dragon, we need follow through.
He'd be so small. Maybe he's real cute.
Maybe you just get a lizard dragon. But
you made horses explode. And there's no dragon.
I'm sorry. Also, do you think were the horses real or not? Because I was truly...
They were breeding them in book 2. Yeah.
I truly saw them as
holograms.
Like golden horses. That they
golden?
Were like they were robot horses.
There's no way they were like robot horses. Maggie, this is a fantasy.
Point,
there's no computers.
I think at one point they blew up and their intestines flew, and I was like,
no.
I'm confused. Did they give the robots
in book 2, they explained that they are breeding these like GMO horses. So they're like you know, like when a big dog, they breed it with a small dog and it makes a different type of dog.
And they're strapping TNT to it?
And they're strapping the bombs that they made to the horses and sending them off to explode.
Unbelievable.
It was, again, the point is it's very savage of them.
You know what my other question is for this book? Were any animals harmed during the making of this book?
Well, I mean... Are you suggesting the author blew up their own horses to see if it would work logistically?
In the backyard of the suburbs they lived in, they were just like, just let me see what it might look like so I can put it in my book.
Oh, man. But, like, I will say, I feel like we've been kind of talking a lot about, like, the things we would have liked to see in this book. There is a lot of things I did like about this book. I really did like the romance between Leah and Rafe throughout the entire book.
Honestly, I thought it was very sweet. It also felt like it was a very mature, grown-up romance in the fact that I think that they both challenge each other. Also, damn, need me a Rafe like that. He has patience.
Patience of a saint.
I need a partner who has patience like that. Are you kidding me?
Maggie, you just said you wanted a toxic relationship. You can't have toxicity
I
and
don't
patience.
know what I want, but if you know what I want, email Meggie and Laura present it.
If there's any love doctors out there listening, message Maggie.
Please do.
Email. And I'll field the emails as well because I also have access there.
Yeah, email Laura. Email.
Yeah, email me what you think Meggie wants. I want to know.
Yes.
Yeah. No, and again, this also like goes to show it's like Rafe was a very great character throughout the entire book, even though he was also flawed. Like it is he's extremely flawed that he's like, I will literally kill millions to save this woman that I love, which is like, dude, that's actually fucked.
Yeah.
But like also like the fact that Leo was so undeserving most of book 3 to him, and I was like, dude, I hate to say you kind of like owe him a little bit of something, but like you kind of owe him a little bit of something.
Yeah, he went into a place that he easily was a prisoner.
He could have been in Terabin, and Pauline comes back and says she was stolen. He would have been like, that sucks. Like he could have just done that.
He went in to save you, did effectively save you.
If he did not come there the Commissar would have married her, and she probably would have been pregnant by this time in book 3.
Exactly. And also, not only that, but he was sacrificing his whole kingdom. Because once he dies, he's the only son that they had. Where does Dolbert go to?
He literally was trying to save her and missed both of his parents' deaths. And she's being a little brat about it.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, that I think that was the thing that like pissed me off about Leah. Is like
you can't go to dinner and meet 400
literally,
soldiers. Just go to dinner.
She would be like, "Oh, I can't imagine his grief, but I don't want to go with him there. I want to do my own thing." And it's like, dude, maybe just like do something for him a little bit. He did a bunch of shit for you.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta give just a smidgen on this one.
It's giving bad girlfriend, Leah.
Yeah,
it's giving bad girlfriend.
Thank God he knew what he wanted, and he was committed to it, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna see this through, because she was not a good partner. Not a good partner.
No.
I mean, she must have been busting it down in bed.
I mean,
my God.
I bet her tits are awesome.
You know what? We take it back, right? We get it.
I was making all of these like valid points to just objectify the main character is awful.
Pull your 62,000 troops from the Malbec post. That's a wine. I don't know what it is. I'm sticking next to Malbec. Yeah, put them in Morrighan.
Oof.
They're going to be in Morrighan now.
Yeah. And I said this on the last episode too. I think the thing for me that like bums me out about this series is like after everything in the 700 pages, like we don't even get to see like life after the war, at least a little bit. Just give me 50 pages of it.
Yeah.
Just give me like in 10 years, this is what Leah and Rafe are doing. This is what Kaden and Pauline are doing.
Yeah,
and this is how Birdie's doing in Terravan.
I kind of wanted to see what this new Venda was all about.
I wanted to see the new Venda.
Do they have gardens? Do they have like outlet malls?
No, Leah's busting around tables at the end.
She is. She's like, finally, back to what I love to do.
Yeah.
Waitressing.
Girl, there's other hobbies.
Kaden was so lucky that Michael was a blonde because now him and Pauline get to play house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I might have said this. I'm gonna say it. I really wanted a bigger showdown between Pauline and Michael at the end of book 3 as well.
Me too.
Because it kind of just felt like we kind of got 2 glimpses of that, and it was just like, tell him off. Why didn't you tell him off?
He impregnated you, didn't care, ratted you out, and then later on was like, baby, you know I was always the father.
And all you come up with is, you'll never be the father.
Yeah.
Not
stab him.
Yeah. Call him like a swine or something.
Yeah.
Or stab him.
Spit on him.
Spit on him. Yeah. Or Kaden should have killed him because he's an assassin.
Yeah. Pauline, you need a girl.
And then they should have had sex on top of his body.
Exactly.
And then Pauline gives him like 50 gold coins for killing him because he was paid to do it.
Pauline, your problem is you don't have Laura and I in your life.
Now that I know that Spotify has comments, I'm worried for if someone listens to this episode and is like, what the actual fuck, you guys?
No. Listen, I think that they're going to say that you're on to
They're
something.
They're going to be like, wait. 100 gold coins.
If you get 33 minutes into, like, this series that, I mean, I think it's kind of popular. I don't know how popular it is, though.
It's doing okay, yeah.
And then also the prequel, and then we've kind of lumped it
together. And then we've basically established that Leah's got nice bazongas.
We deserve to get canceled.
And now that we also won...
Oh my God.
I don't know if we deserve to be canceled, but maybe we deserve to be questioned.
Laura doesn't. I probably do. I've done a lot of things in my life.
Yeah, but
I'm here smoking my cigarette.
Yeah, Maggie's smoking like 4 cigarettes like they're Wolverine claws.
A lot of things in my life.
Yeah, the worst thing I've done is objectify this fictional character and then also say these other fictional characters.
I mean, I can't even tell you what national monument I've peed on.
You can?
No, I can't. I said I can't.
Oh.
Well, I can tell you. I can't tell them.
So have you peed on a national monument?
We'll talk about it.
Maggie, why are you bringing this up right now? Why do you want to be canceled so
I'm
bad?
not. Anyways, so back to Kaden.
Guys, if you think Maggie should be canceled, please, I'm kidding.
Guys, what if I was improvising that whole time? I think it's good that Laura and I are back together. This is fun.
This is good. This is good banter. See, you can't get this over the Zencast.
You can't get this because there's like a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, and you have to be very like patient because of the internet. But But anyway,
God, they're so lucky they don't have to deal with internet.
Yeah,
the people in the books.
The people in the books. Yeah, for sure. The people in the books.
Yeah.
But they probably had to deal with like other things like disease. Bryn lost a leg. That sucks.
Which character do you think would have the most fun at Mall of America?
This is hard.
3,
because
2, 1?
Well, okay, I have to also, I want to preface my answer
Okay.
by saying I've never been to the Mall of America, so I don't know how much fun it is, but I assume very.
Wisconsin Dells?
Wisconsin Dells.
Okay, Wisconsin
Okay,
Dells.
who would have the most fun with Wisconsin Dells? Okay, I got my answer.
Okay, ready?
Right? 3, 2, 1, Beardy.
Caden.
Wow.
Whoa! I just kind of think he needs a vacation.
I just kind of feel like Beardy would let her hair down at the moment's notice.
Honestly, she would.
Beardy needs a vacation.
Hair down, tits out, margarita in hand.
Slide down.
Down
it.
Down, and it curls back up. It's like, can I go back down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's pretty fun.
Why would you say Caden? Caden doesn't really have fun.
I just think he needs a vacation.
I think the Wisconsin Dells would piss Caden off to no end.
Okay, maybe put him on a cruise ship?
I don't think he'd like it.
Where do you think he wants to go on vacation?
I don't think he wants to go on vacation. Remember they almost threw him in a well and he got mad about that? He killed someone?
I feel like somewhere in the Midwest would do Caden really well.
I feel like you gotta get him like in a cabin with nothing around. Give him a book to read. Caden needs to read a good book. That's my problem with Caden.
That is true. Honestly, I feel like he needs to be not around people because when he was interacting with Leah, I was like, have you talked to a woman before?
Yeah.
Do you know how to talk to them?
Clearly he doesn't because he didn't get her affections ever.
Yeah. Pretty tough stuff.
Yeah, pretty tough stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been 40 minutes. I
Yeah,
feel like I got no more thoughts.
Yeah, I'll no thoughts that empty. Maggie does this thing, they expend all their thoughts and then there's just nothing left to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you have things you want to keep talking about?
No, I don't think I do.
Tricky. Puts us in a tough place.
Puts us in a tough place where I don't think either of us have. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Figure out what we're doing next season. Maggie and I have been talking, listeners, to give you a little peek behind the curtain for weeks of we need to plan the rest of the year, and then we haven't done it. And I just realized now that normally at the end of these we talk about what we're doing next.
Well, we will do it on air. Yeah, we don't know for sure. I think I have a vague idea, and I'm not going to say what it is. We might actually have like a pretty big author coming on next season.
But we also might not.
We also might not.
We don't want to get anyone to books. We might just read the books anyway.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I guess this is
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Bye. Email us.
Okay. Cool. Maggie and I are gonna
Kisses.